Hey guys, it's Tori. Welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through sublimating a coffee mug, and we're going to sublimate it in a Vevor tumbler press. And we're going to use Cricut Design Space, so let's head on over there. And I have the template here, and this is for a 15-ounce beveled Cricut mug. And we're going to use this image. So all I'm going to do here is just select this template. And I'm going to go up here and hit ungroup. And you'll see everything pop up. These are all the cut images and all that. We are going to go ahead. Let's just go ahead and close this one and this one. And we're going to use the blue rectangle as a template to where we are going to place this image. And let's just make this a little bit smaller. So that's about the size image I want. And I'm going to go ahead and hit duplicate right here. And we're going to drag that right over here. And then we're going to just scroll down here, and we are going to hide the blue and some other things on that template that we don't need. Okay, so now that we have everything off of the template that we don't need, we're going to go ahead and select the image and the template. And I go right up here to align, and I'm going to do center vertically. And all that does is just make sure that these are both the same on each side. Perfect. And we're going to select it again, hit attached, flatten. And now we are ready to go ahead and hit make it. We're going to send it to the sublimation printer, and then we're going to cut it. We are going to print this on 8.5 by 14 sublimation paper. We need to mirror the image, and then let's go ahead and hit continue and send to printer. And I'm going to send it to my Epson sublimation printer, and it's set for the Epson. Let's go ahead and turn the bleed off and then put use system dialog, and then I'm going to hit print. And I like to use system dialog because when you turn that on, it automatically takes you to the printing preferences, which you should always double check and make sure that you have the best things selected for your project. And then we're going to select preferences here. And then I have mine defaulted to always be legal, and I use the premium presentation paper mat and the high quality. You always want to use the best quality when printing for sublimating, because the better quality ink it is, the better it will show up. And then we're going to go ahead and hit OK and print. Go ahead and select laser copy paper because that texture is so similar to this sublimation paper. And when we place the paper on the mat, we need to make sure that it looks just like this, that we position it in the exact way this is, so the Cricut Maker can sense where those lines are to know where to cut. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm using the long Cricut mat, and we're going to line this up just like so. So it looks just like the picture on the Cricut Design Space. And I'm going to tape the 4 corners and hit the load and the go button. Unload, and go ahead and turn that off. Take this off the mat. This should come right out, or you may just have to wiggle it. Yep, perfect. So this is the Cricut mug that I'm going to use, and this is 15 ounces. So let's take this out. First thing we need to do is clean the Cricut mug, or actually anytime you use any sort of mug or tumbler, you always need to clean it really thoroughly. Even though it looks clean, it could have dust and stuff on it, any debris. So I'm using rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to wipe it really well. And then you need to also make sure that it is dry. So this is what we're using. If you notice here, it got some marks somehow. So that could have been from my printer, but I don't want that on the mug. So instead of me reprinting it, I am going to cut that part out because I don't want to waste ink, and I don't want that because that will show up on the mug. So I'm going to cut that out. It also looks like there's some right there as well. I don't know what that's from. I assume that's from my printer. So let's see. Let me just make sure that, I think I got it all out. And I don't know if there's something like right there. Let's just maybe do a little bit there as well. And the reason I'm not cutting it all the way in half, which is an option as well, is because I like that it has these, so I know that it's completely centered on the mug. All right, so the next thing you need to do is make sure that you place it the right side up, because you don't want to, and I almost put it on backwards because I was talking. So you want to put it the right side up so that it reads properly. And then let's go ahead and we're going to line this up back here. You also want to make sure that it is even throughout. So let's, and you also want it to be pulled as tightly as possible, because then it is pressing more firmly onto the mug. And we're going to use heat resistant tape. And I'm going to just tape it right here. And same. And same. We're going to come back and reinforce this. We also need to tape this part because we need that to stay down as well. So whereas normally you wouldn't have that. So let's just go ahead and do that as well. Okay, so now let's go ahead. We're going to go around the top and around the bottom, because if you see here, you'll see like there's little gaps and stuff. That's because it's not pressed as firmly as possible against the mug. So for the best results, you need to just kind of tape it to reinforce it being pressed against the mug. And I'm sure you can do it either or, but it works best for me doing it this way. I'd rather use a little extra tape than to ruin the mug and have to redo it. So the top is done. We're going to flip it over. Do the same thing with the bottom. Okay, and it's also important to reinforce the handles because you get the same thing as far as you need it to be pressed down as firmly as possible. I really like this sublimation tape because it's so thick. It works really nice. When I first started sublimating, I bought like the regular thin kind, and it was just more difficult to kind of do it here and then fold over. So I found this and I love it. Love it. Okay, let's do one more here. Okay, so as you can see, the handle is reinforced, top and bottom, and the side looks really good as well. So we're gonna go ahead and use the Vevor heat press, and let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at 400 degrees. And I'm also going to wrap this with parchment paper just to protect the Vevor press. And we are waiting for it to get to 400 degrees. And we're going to need this completely open, so I'm just twisting this or turning this knob to open it as much as I can, since I'm doing a 15-ounce mug. And this actually heats up pretty fast. I'm really impressed with this. So that's nice, because when I sublimate with my toaster oven, my convection toaster oven, you usually have to, well, I do, I preheat it for 15 minutes. So this is nice, it gets to 400 pretty quick. And if you were sublimating, I think you would have to sublimate, don't quote me on this, but I want to say it would be about 10 minutes for the mug in the convection toaster oven, which I always double check, so don't quote me on that. I always double check first to make sure, but I think that's what it is, just off the top of my head. And this is only 240 seconds, so that works pretty good. Okay, so that is beeping just to let us know that we're at 400. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and place the mug in here, just like so. And you want the handle to be centered. And then we're gonna go ahead and close this. And then you can tighten it. And I'm gonna go ahead and press this as well. And we can tighten it as well. So I'm just turning the knobs to tighten it. Not too tight, but tight enough so it's secure. So we're gonna do this 4 times. So 60 seconds times 4 will be the 240 seconds. So this is the 4th time, so it's almost done, and we definitely need our heat resistant gloves as well. And as soon as the timer goes off, I'm going to hit the stop and unplug it, and then we're going to take it out and check it out. Okay, I'm going to open it. And we'll just slide this out. I just want to make sure you can see me. Okay. And we're going to go ahead, and you can use a heat resistant pad for this, or you can use a kitchen towel, whatever you want to use. But it is very hot and you need to wear gloves. So let's go ahead and take this off. So that turned out super cute. Well, here it's a little bit faded right there. So that didn't turn out too well. But you know what it could be as well, now that I think about it, is it's not completely centered. If you see here, this is less space. Here there's a bigger gap. So, I mean, it still looks super cute, but that's probably because, see here it was pressed all the way. It's probably because it didn't press there as well. But I think it looks super cute, and a lot of times using the Vevor is kind of hit or miss as far as with the time and the temperature. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and if you don't already subscribe, make sure to hit the subscribe button on the way out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment below, let me know what you guys think of this.